In this exercise, we're going to concentrate on receiving the ball on the ground. When receiving the ball, the first thing you want to do is get in the line of flight of the ball. When receiving the ball on the ground, you obviously want to receive it with your foot. You want to be on your toes, read the flight of the ball, and then in this case we're going to receive with the inside of your foot. The surface that you want to receive on is the inside, the middle part, similar to the surface that you used for the short pass. So as the ball is traveling towards you, adjust your body, make sure that your toe is up, and as the ball is about to contact your foot, the center, that you just have a little, what we call a forgiving or giving surface, so that you put the ball appropriately in order to prepare your next touch. In this exercise, we're working on receiving the ball on the ground. So we've created a little rectangle with 5 players on the outside and 5 players on the inside. Players on the inside simply check to the ball, receive the ball with their first touch, and play the ball back to their partner with their second touch. You work 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. When receiving the ball out of the air with your chest, you want to read the flight of the ball. You need to be on your toes or in an athletic stance so that you can move your body accordingly, read the flight of the ball, select the surface as the chest that you're receiving it with, and as the ball comes down, what you want to do is you want to open up your chest. You do that by pulling your shoulders back and having a giving surface as the ball contacts your chest. Get in line of flight, open your chest up, and as it contacts it, have a little bit of a giving surface. In this exercise, we work on receiving the ball out of the air. Specifically, we're asking the players to receive the ball in their chest and volley the ball back to their partner. They will work inside the rectangle for 30 seconds and then switch and work outside the rectangle for 30 seconds. Receiving 3. Receiving the ball out of the air with your thigh. You want to be in an athletic stance on the balls of your feet. You want to read the flight of the ball and select the thigh as the surface that you're going to receive the ball with. You adjust your body accordingly to the line of flight of the ball, and as it's about to strike your thigh, you want to choose the meaty part of your thigh, and as it's about to strike that surface, you want to have a giving or forgiving surface. We work on receiving the ball out of the air, and specifically with the thigh. We have 5 players on the inside of a rectangle grid, and they will work for 30 seconds, getting as many repetitions as possible. And then we'll switch. So you're on for 30 seconds, you're off for 30 seconds. This is a basic dribbling exercise where we place players in a small grid, one to a ball, and just ask them to get as many touches correctly as possible. They want to touch the inside, outside of the ball, their body mechanics so that their knees are bent, they're down low to the ground, and they're constantly moving and changing direction while in control of the ball. In this exercise, we place 5 cones within the grid. It's the same number of cones as our players, and we just ask the players in a certain amount of time, 1 minute in this case, to dribble around the cones as many times as they can. They can't go to a cone that is already occupied, so they need to have their head up, and in going around a cone, we want them to have tight control of the ball. In this dribbling exercise, we ask the players to execute cut moves in tight control of the ball. So we place a number of cones within the grid, and every time the player gets to a new cone, they have to execute some type of cut move. It can be behind their standing leg, with the outside or inside of their foot. Basically, when they get to that cone, they have to change directions under tight control of the ball. We ask for as many repetitions in a 1-minute time period. In this exercise, we have an 8x10 grid, and we're just working on some basic principles of defending. We have an attacking player who's dribbling at the defender, and basically the attacking player just tries to move the ball to his right and left. The defending player, we just want to try to give him some repetition at getting the proper stance and distance for some basic defending. Like in our basic defending, this exercise now takes it a step further. We ask one player to play the ball across the 8x10 yard grid and then ultimately go and close down that attacking player. This is a shadow exercise. Again, it's a progression from our basic defending. In this activity, we actually make this a live game. It's a 1v1 exercise. We use an 8x10 grid here. The defender starts the game by playing across the attacker. The defender has to go close him down and try to prevent the attacking player from dribbling across the line. This game is live, so we're actually playing to the end line. Shooting 1, striking a stationary ball. The key to shooting is your body technique. You want your plant foot at appropriate distance next to the ball, usually about the distance or width of your shoulders. You want to get in a ready strike position, which is your head down, your nose over your knee over the ball, slightly tilted to one side, and you want to pull your foot, okay, in a locked position, ankle lock, so that you contact the ball off your laces or the instep. You want to get in this ready strike position. You want to have a full range of motion from the snap from your knee. You want to hit the back center of the ball. And you want to try to let your body weight into that snap from your knee and carry through so that you land on your striking foot. In this activity, we're working on shooting, specifically striking a stationary ball. We have two sets of players, one set on the right, one set on the left. We ask them to alternate striking the ball with a proper technique, and then after collecting their ball, they go in the opposite line. This will allow them to get the maximum repetitions while limiting the time that they wait. Shooting 2, striking the ball off the dribble. We use a similar technique to striking a dead ball. When you take your last touch, you prepare it as such, and then get in that ready strike position where your nose is over your knee is over the ball, you're slightly leaned away from the ball. You go through a full range of motion so that you pull your locked ankle as far back as you can, and you hit the back center of the ball. In this activity, we're asking players to shoot off the dribble. We have a line slightly to the right of goal and a line slightly to the left. simply the player dribbles at game speed, has a shot on goal, retrieves his ball, and goes around to the other line. We alternate, thus maximizing the time the players actually get to shoot while minimizing the time they wait in line. Shooting the ball first time from a pass. The technique here is very similar to striking a dead ball or striking the ball off the dribble. The key here is to maybe have a little bit shorter snap from your knee and making sure that your mechanics are perfect. Thus, when you're in the ready strike position, your head needs to make sure that you're down and the snap from your knee may be a little shortened now because you're going to use the momentum of the ball. But it's the same kind of technique from the ready strike position. Nose over your knee, knee over the ball, ankle lock, hit the ball to back center, off your instep. So as the ball is either traveling towards you or away from you, maybe you have a little shorter snap from your knee, but it's critical that the body position is such that you can get in a short snap the exact same technique that we use in striking the ball from a stationary position. In this exercise, we ask the players to shoot and hit a moving ball. We basically have 4 lines here, 2 on each post and 2 out in front of the 18-yard box. The player on the post plays the ball diagonally across the box. The player striking the ball runs up and tries to strike the ball on frame with a proper technique. The player shooting retrieves his ball and then becomes a player playing the ball off the post. You want to run this so that you run it for a couple minutes on one side, switch lines, thereby players get plenty of opportunity to strike the moving ball with their right foot and then the same amount of time with their left foot.